Alrighty, so if you're out of the loop or a little unaware, Borderlands 4 has just dropped a new gameplay trailer, and I'm here to break it down and give you some of the cliff notes of my personal opinion as a long-term Borderlands fan, and I kind of want to get some of the opinion of the audience here. You know, I'm a little away from the Borderlands space these days, but I almost fully dejected myself over the last couple trailers we've seen, and I've done my video breakdowns on every single trailer so far, but I'm probably not going to do a lot more breakdown trailers, only because I'm just going to wait and see, because there's a lot of red flags. I will keep it real, and there's some green flags, you know. But this trailer, let's get this pedophile off my screen. Oh, for fuck's sakes, get off my screen. How is he always here? There we go. Okay, get that off my screen. Here we go. Now, I'm a Borderlands fan. Let's get that right off the bat, you know? Little quick background, I guess, for all the new people who might be watching, a little newer to my content. By the way, I post content and videos on anything I'm passionate about. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and get my content weekly. Anyways, with that being said, shameless plug over. I'm a Borderlands 1 and 2 fan, 100% of Borderlands 1, big fan of Borderlands 2. I would even rate Borderlands 2 as one of the best games of all time, even currently in its current state. Yeah, I know it's kind of shitty, but it's still a fucking good game in my personal opinion. Wasn't a fan of 3. I thought 3 was dog shit. I think 3 is one of the worst Borderlands, arguably worse than Tiny Tina's in my sort of rankings. But Tiny Tina's, I think, is just barely worse because of the lack of content in the game. Where 3... just hearing any NPC's dialogue makes me want to put a nail through my temple, so I just can't stand it. Regardless, I made it very clear in my previous videos, I'm not here to talk about Borderlands 2.5, okay? So let's get that out of the way before people are like, oh my god, too much hate on Borderlands 3. The game was shit, okay? Don't excuse that. They half-assed it. They didn't listen to their community. Let's get conversations going about that, you know, rather than just like, you know, what, it wasn't that bad. Anyways, I'm getting a little too off topic. My point here is, we all want to see Borderlands 4 as Borderlands fans. Hey, rise up, brother. But what we don't want is Borderlands 2.5, and what we don't want is Borderlands 3.5. We want a Borderlands 4. We want a new take on the series. Let me just adjust this real quick, get my neck involved. We all want Borderlands 4. We want a continuation. We want improvements. We want things we've never seen before. Alright, and just quick cliff notes. I'm going to try not to make this video an hour long, as most of my videos do these days, but cliff notes, if you want a quick rundown. Trailer was really good. The best trailer they've showcased of the game by far. Not even fucking close. I'm talking about this gameplay trailer, the 18-minute long one. I know they released another one that was about 2 minutes. That one's good. This one is far better. Far, far better. Now, I guess you can't really consider this a trailer. Maybe you do. I kind of do. But I guess it is labeled as a gameplay deep dive, so I guess we'll go with that. But regardless, this is the best showcase of Borderlands 4 we've seen. This showcased a lot of stuff that kind of raised an eyebrow here and there. And I'm a hopeful of the future, okay? I'll say it. I'm hopeful of the future of Borderlands. Alright? After that disastrous movie, one of the worst movies of all time, doesn't beat Rise of Skywalker. I will say that, okay? Rise of Skywalker is by far the worst fucking movie of all time, in my personal opinion. Context included with the franchise. Borderlands 4, or the Borderlands movie was dog shit. This is good to see. Alright, so we got to see, like, some environments. You know, environments looked really good. I don't really want to dwell too much on the environments. In my personal opinion, I wasn't a fan of a lot of the showcase. A lot of it is held on lighting, I will say that. Like, a lot of these environments, that was a bad example. But a lot of them look really good and really good lighting. This looks like a Halo environment, to be honest. Was those, you know. But, you know, Sanctuary City, fine, whatever. It's not actually Sanctuary City. This is like a slum area, I think. Just quick cliff notes. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, pause and play, because those videos take a long time. And I get way too sidetracked on a lot of the things. But basically, the game looks good, okay? I was concerned a lot of the environments were going to look like shit. I thought a lot of them were going to look bland and generic. everything they showcase in this, like, even this, yes, this looks Borderlands, but this, like, makes sense. There's a lot of shit going on. I like this. I know background clutter is a thing, but, like, this is simple. There's, like, platforms, enemy stuff, whatever. Very simple stuff. I like this. You know, this is very Borderlands vibe. This looks like what would happen to Pandora, which is the planet that everyone is originally on, if you're unfamiliar with the Borderlands. I'll try to make it very cohesive for the people that don't really play Borderlands to explain a lot of the things going on in this trailer and why I think they're good or bad. But yeah, enemy designs, environments look really nice. Enemy designs are cool. There's a few returning characters. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, what the boys are here for, okay? Zane is an L. I feel like Zane shouldn't be back. Don't know why he's back. We now know why he's back. It looks like he's partnered with Moxie. Partnered, if you get what I mean. But Moxie doesn't look like an old whore. I'm going to get that out of the way. W. Okay, W. If anyone's played Borderlands 3, you know what I mean. You know? She looks more Borderlands 2-esque. Maybe it's just the angle, okay? Maybe it's just a certain angle we got here, but she definitely looks better for her age. Even though she is like an older woman who's sexually active, you know what I mean? But like, at least make her look like she's attractive to a younger audience, you know what I mean? Just saying. You know, many childhood memories of finding that glitch under the bar in Borderlands 2. If you know, you know. Anyways. But yeah, so we get Moxie returning, and we get Zane returning. No idea what their purpose is. They didn't really go in depth, obviously. There's another returning character here who genuinely has better dialogue in this trailer than they've had their entire existence in the franchise. You know, we get some new characters. These new characters... hey, you know what? I know a lot of people are going to say DEI hires, you know? They're not too bad. This one's a really bad example. Like, some of them are straight up ugly, but I think some of them are meant to be ugly, if you know what I mean. Claptrap, I think, is returning, but we also get a companion. I'm pretty sure this is Claptrap. See, this is the problem with 4, though, because of the engine. This does... Because I've watched so many trailers, I can tell this is 4. But this looks like it could be in 3. Just saying. Alright, just saying. That's going to be a big problem with 3. Or with 4. A lot of areas might look like 3. And sometimes when people are watching gameplay and shit, it might look like 3. But HUD and everything, we'll get into, are looking very good. I need to speed this up a little bit. But yeah, we get a companion. Little droid guy. Little fucking buckethead dude. As long as this guy doesn't have cringe dialogue and they're not trying to replace Claptrap in terms of vibe, they might, which is a concern, red flag. And if you don't know what I mean by that, Claptrap's already pre-established in the franchise as the funny dumbass, right? Nothing he says really makes sense, and he accidentally does things right, and he also accidentally fucks up a lot of things, but overall he's like this goofy comedy relief, right? I don't want this to be that. I want this to be like a BB-8, or not BB-8, whoa, BD-1, I want to say, from Fallen Order. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the Souls-like Star Wars game. I just want it to, like, make noises as a robot and do things. That's it. I don't want this thing to fucking talk to me, alright? I don't remember if it did it in the trailer. I don't want this thing trying to make jokes, okay? There's gonna be enough of that throughout the entire game. It's a Borderlands game. I don't want to hear jokes every fucking 2 seconds I'm taking a step. And it's like, ooh, fucking almost tripped there. Ooh, good thing there wasn't a banana peel. You know, like, if I hear that, nail... forehead in the temple, you know? But yeah, this is cool. I like his design, I'll say that, you know? As long as they don't overcomplicate shit, I'm fine with it. Pretty cool. He does, like, hacking, he does, like, environmental stuff, and apparently he's following a few. Red flags here. I did not see a health bar on this thing. Maybe I missed something. I did not see a health bar on this thing. If this thing is something that roams around you, constantly does damage, and is immortal, can revive you, things like that, we might be looking at, like, the most brain-dead, easy Borderlands game there is. And 3 is already, baby. Like, 3, you have to try to die. You know, shout out to a man named Senza. Pretty sure his name was Senza. Giga Chad Dragonite guy. I remember him back in the day when Borderlands 4 dropped. He did a lot of challenge videos on Borderlands 3, and even in the challenge videos, while he did die a lot, he's doing runs with, like, no weapons, using only your pets, shit like that. And he still beat the game pretty much perfectly fine, with very few relative issues, you know? So, I'm worried this companion always being around makes the game a little too easy. So, that's my concern there. But hey, you know what? Benefit of the doubt here. Maybe this thing isn't a combat thing. Maybe it's just like a roaming the world thing. You know, I'm pretty sure it's not really confirmed if it's always active. But they did say it'll be accompanying you on your journey. So, I'm just assuming here. So, little concerned here. Moving on. You know, I said I'm not going to pause this shit. I need to quickly move this up. Cosmetics. W. It's probably in my thumbnail. The OG characters look like dog shit. Nose ring, Mexican, fucking Puerto Rican, Indian, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Get him out! You know, he's ugly as shit. I don't want to play that character. I love the tech suit, exosuit vibe. Alright? As much as it's overplayed in a lot of video games, I like the exosuit shits. I will probably play this character if I do cop the game. Or the Siren. Siren, not the best cosmetic showcase, but I do like the cosmetics being very different. I'm happy because I don't have to play as this ugly fuck looking at his face, you know? That's one thing that was pretty good about Borderlands 3, where you could kind of just put masks and shit on. I hope a lot of them are more unique. Maybe that's asking a bit too much from a multi-billion-dollar company, you know? But I would really like not having everyone wear a horse mask, everyone wear this mask, everyone wear that, you know what I mean? I want, like, unique shit for characters, you know, where you see something. Like, I loved the feeling in Borderlands 2. I know they had it in Borderlands 2, but it was less obvious, because in Borderlands 2, some of the heads in those games, God, they look so fucking cool, and when you saw someone walk around with it, you'd be like, oh my god, that guy farmed Bunker for that, holy shit, this guy's a G, you know? This guy farmed Terramorphous or whatever, right? I want aura with my cosmetics, okay? I don't want, like, oh, Crazy Earl gave me a pony head, you know? I'm tired of that shit, alright? I want new shit, I want cool shit. Moving on! Yeah, instead of that, we get more environment looks, that's cool. W HUD, I'll say this, hey, straight up, dog, straight up. W HUD, I know I'm a little zoomed in here, so you're not going to see everything, it's a little cut off. Love this HUD. Very simple. Very easy to understand. Very console friendly. Let me just move this up a little bit. That bottom right hand corner. Hey, console players up right now. You get to see the weapons that are going to swap to. Great fucking addition there. Love that. You know. Level is the bottom left. I like that number. And I like the shields. I like the numbers. I'm big on my numbers in games, okay? If you haven't seen my Killing Floor videos, I like my numbers. I like my numbers. These numbers are clean, sleek, simple, easy. The only problem they might run into is when these numbers are like fucking 1,300,000. Like when they get into the millions, I don't think they will, because at level 24, I think this is fairly nice. I don't want to see I don't want to be hitting millions of damage on enemies. I want to be hitting like the 100k is crazy, you know? Like I don't want to see like millions and millions and millions of damage. I'm not a fan of just big number look good, you know? I'm not really a fan of that. You know, you can make 100 damage look good. Fucking Baldur's Gate makes 7 damage look like it's a saint in early game, alright? That's the type of shit I like. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, I need to stop pausing. Need to remember here, I'm on a budget. So it seems like they're exploring open world. They showcase a glide here, that I forgot to showcase. Cool-ish glide. If you're unfamiliar, think like Destiny Warlock glide, but a little bit better. Think of the jet. I don't fucking know. I don't really play a lot of games with glide. I think the glide's cool. I don't know if it's necessarily like needed, but I mean, it's cool, I guess. You know, enemy design cool. Looks like a different type of rack. I do like how on this planet it's not like Skaggs, rack, whatever. I know it's a new planet, but I'm happy they actually changed up the formula. Really like that. You know, they get to this outpost thing, they have the robot do a thing, it opens a thing, and they get a thing. That's the breakdown. But yeah. Yeah, this part is fine. Whatever open world objectives to do, similar to like other games. It just looks a little bit cleaner because your screen isn't cluttered with a bunch of shit. And yeah, I mean, yeah. It seems like they unsaturated a lot of the colors. I don't know if that's because certain people are making videos about the background clutter. Just saying. Hey, Randy, it's okay. I got your email. No, I'm kidding, obviously. I wouldn't talk to that pedo. But regardless, yeah, it's good. I like these changes. You know, it seems like they dimmed down the saturation, and it, like, I can see what's on my screen. So I like that. Compared to some of the previous trailers where everything looked like a flashbang. You know, imagine being a kid waking up and playing this game at like fucking like, instead of waking up, you know? Imagine playing this game at night and you fucking launch the game at midnight, alright? Because your parents just went to bed and you know you can get away with some grind time. And you get flashbang with this on your screen. You know, I'm glad the saturation went down. At least that's what it seems like to me. Maybe that's just me. Regardless, W changes. They showcase a little bit of the map. Map looks fine. It looks very... The game feels like it looks... The game feels like it looks... The game looks a lot Halo vibe in terms of UI and everything. Like, this looks like a... Like, you could confuse this with a Halo sort of thing. Especially the way this is designed on the top. Oh, I can't see it, actually. But yeah, especially the way that's designed on the top. That looks very Halo. Is that just me? Yeah. Anyways, regardless, I think it's W. I think it's fine. It's sleek. It works. I was very concerned about a lot of the menus and UI systems. A lot of them look good. You get to see the little medical station, whatever you want to call it. Medical shop on the right. W. They do grappling hook here, so it's confirmed every character has grappling hooks. That's a W. I was really thinking they were going to have one character with the grappling. Glad every character has grappling. Every character also has glide. And I'll play this clip here. So it seems like you're going to be able to use a vehicle any minute now, anywhere you want. You know? And I think that's a W change. I do think it's going to make a lot of things weird. You know? Like, are we going to be seeing people have vehicles where they're not supposed to be? You know? How strong are the vehicles? Because all of them apparently have guns. You can even see the gun in the bottom right, even though my video's not doing a great job showcasing it. Actually, wait, can I do... Oh, well, there goes my face. Hold up here. Technical difficulties. There we go. But yeah, W. I like this. Being able to use vehicles wherever you want. Borderlands has never been known for their vehicles, but I think this is W change, especially depending on how many they have. Notoriously, they only have 3 main vehicles, but if you can customize these ones similar to how you could in 3, W. Yeah. Vehicles seem good as well. Like, they look weighty with the volume and everything. Pretty cool. Moving on, we get, like, areas. This is where we start getting, like, clutter overload here. And I know it's not, like, actually clutter overload, but you got an objective here being detected. You got volt tracking something here. You got the fucking thing here. You got the things here. You got your weapons here. You got the objective here. You got a fucking compass up here, you know? Like, alright. But it's not like the worst HUD ever. It's just like, ugh. Can we toggle one of them off? I'm hoping, you know? But yeah. Looks a little weird. Gets to the stairs. Does some things. Combat. Gore system. Full effect in the trailer. Love it. Shooting off legs and everything looks sick. Shooting off body parts looks sick. Not really going to showcase it too much here. This is the other returning character. And you may know her as the Taiga. No one knows her as that because no one fucking liked this character's dialogue. Amara. She looks fine. She didn't have anything cringe to say. She kind of just said, like, oh, we need to get over there. Yeah. What's important, every character so far seems to have generic-ass dialogue. I'm fine with generic-ass dialogue, as long as it's not cringe, okay? I know Randy Pitchford is overseeing this, so, a little bit of a red flag there, but, yeah, you know, if the dialogue is like what this conversation was for the whole game, I'm passable with it, you know? Not like super hyped about it, not like, ooh, Borderlands is back, you know? It's kind of just like, eek. I mean, it's there, you know? And if you were wondering what I'm referring to, I think Borderlands 2 had electric dialogue. Everything with Handsome Jack was absolutely goated. Side characters actually felt like cool side characters you were interested in or disgusted by, depending on who you were talking to, like the Hermit and, who's another one? The fucking crazy dude in, the pirate DLC. I can't remember. Pirate's Cove? I want to say some shit like that. It's been a minute, alright? But regardless, Borderlands 2 characters felt distinct. They felt like every character, like, matched their vibe. Borderlands 3 fell off for me. Every character just felt cringe and trying to make jokes all the time that didn't land. Yeah. So I hope it's not the same here. If they keep a lot of things very normal, I'm happy with that, but it is what it is. You can see the co-op thing. Co-op, crossplay day one. We'll get into some of my concerns a little bit forward, but crossplay should be mandatory on every game. That's my stance on that. Moving on. We can see some skills here. Yeah. So, Siren starts using her abilities. Pretty cool abilities. They showcase a little bit of the trees. I'm not going to go too far into it because this video is already getting kind of long. But basically, skill trees look fine. They look pretty A-okay. They look very what they should be. You know, in-depth builds, a lot of percentages and shit going up and down. You get to see the numbers. You know, you get her purple tiger because she has a summoning tree. Very fine with this. They have augments from Borderlands 3. Fine with that. You get to see the other trees. Everything here, mwah, chef's kiss. This is what I like to see from Borderlands. You know, Siren distinction. Every character also has a passive. The passive for the Siren is that she's going to be able to change her abilities element depending on what element she's using. Dope ass concept for a passive. I'm curious what the other ones are. Really cool concept. I like that idea. I like things that will change gameplay significantly. But yeah, they do some missions here, and then they showcase you're able to customize your character wherever you are. Another W change. So there's no more catch-a-rides by the look of things. Which is like the vehicle bay station where you would have to go to summon a vehicle. There's no more change your character station. W change. Love that. Don't have to fucking go to that place to change my head or skin or whatever. I can just do it on the fly. Don't have to go to Sanctuary every time for that. And, what was the other thing? Good gore. Oh, the co-op. Co-op seems like you're going to be able to teleport to your friend wherever they are. W changes. Maybe it's like a combat related thing. Obviously I'm gonna have to play test it to get a real feel for it, but W changes across the board. Love all these changes. This is what Borderlands 4 should be. Improvements from the previous game. Okay, that's what I like to see. Was that a companion screen? What the fuck was this? Hold up. Are they gonna show it here? Yeah. What is this? This I did not see. Huh, so maybe it has its own skill tree or something? I don't know, weird. Loadout system's fine. They replaced artifacts with a gear thing. They also give the player an option to replace their grenade with an ordnance, which can be like a fucking turret in their hands, I think. Seems kind of cool, interesting. I like that. It's a gameplay mix-up. They showcase all the manufacturers coming back. Great changes. They added 3 new manufacturers. One of them is basically just Bandit, but the other 2 look pretty interesting. And then they showcase how manufacturers can actually be placed on multiple weapons. So here you have a Vladov base with a Malawan accessory, a Hyperion shield, which I think is another accessory, and then a Torg magazine. They didn't showcase what this did, I think, but this effectively should be a Tommy gun that shoots explosives. That's how it should operate by Borderlands lore. So that is sick. And they said higher rarity. The higher the rarity, the more parts and manufacturers that can be on that weapon. W, love that. They mentioned the loot system, and they said legendaries are going to be rare to find now. And they also, this is the big takeaway, okay? Not only did they say legendaries are going to be coming back and harder to find than Borderlands 3, they admitted that Borderlands 3 legendary system sucked ass. They didn't say that verbatim, but they basically said the legendary system in Borderlands 3 made you feel like you weren't really getting a legendary weapon, and you lost that sort of ooh cool weapon feel, you know. So I'm happy they're bringing it back. Fingers crossed, because there's some red flags here. Okay, number one, Borderlands notoriously, Gearbox I guess, notoriously dog shit when it comes to overcorrecting certain problems. So I have a feeling, this is just a hunch, early predictions here, the community that plays, the casual audience, might say that the legendary drop rate is too low. I'm going to be honest. Actually, I'll finish what I was going to say. They might say it's too low, and because they say it's too low, they're going to overcorrect and increase the drop rate too much. And then they're going to see like, oh, well, player numbers are going up for like a week, and then all of them skyrocket down, similar in Borderlands 3, because you're just getting too many fucking legendaries, and now they're meaningless, right? Also, there's websites and shit where you can buy the legendaries. That is garbage. I think that shouldn't be a thing. Gearbox endorses it, apparently. Red flags. Okay, I'm a little concerned about how the legendary systems are going to work. Me personally, okay, hand on the Bible, or whatever fucking book you pray to, okay? I genuinely would not mind if legendaries are like even worse drop rates. Like, I wouldn't mind if every average legendary was the drop rate of a conference call warrior, of a Logan's Gun Wilhelm, of a the bitch bunker, stuff like that. You know, I want to see like 1 in 20s to 1 in 50s. That's like the sweet spot for legendaries for me. And then some of them on the high end, 1 in 100, you know? 1 in 1,000. I wouldn't even mind 1 in 1,000, just for like novelty purposes, right? Obviously, legendaries have to be good. They have to be balanced. But red flags, don't know how legendaries are going to perform. We'll see. And if you're wondering, when I say legendary, I mean the orange, not the purples. I know a lot of games call the purples legendary, Destinies. This is not legendary in this game. Legendary is the orange one. But yeah, they said they're touching the drop rates. Mwah. Chef kiss. Didn't think they were actually going to do it. And admit to doing wrong in Borderlands 3. Just saying. But yeah, W changes. Everything here, great. Skill trees, great. Enemy design, great. Environments, great. But overall, dialogue through this whole part was pretty terrible, I'll be honest. It was just a lot of yapping. Then they got to the boss. W boss design. This boss looked fucking sick. Absolutely amazing boss. Now, for the nitty and gritty here. Thoughts and opinions. As a long-term Borderlands fan, I've been playing this shit since Borderlands 2 first came out. Back when I was a wee lad. Back when I was in school. Okay? This game, so far, might have my money, okay? I might be, you know, depending what the money bag situation is during the time. But it is like, it's a full-price game. It's 2025. GTA 6 is around the corner. It's releasing within a month of GTA 6, I'm pretty sure. Killing Floor 3. There's so many bangers this year. There's that Expedition 33 game that looks sick. There's that fucking Dune game coming out this month. There's so much shit coming out this year. So much shit. And so much shit that already has came out this year. I've still got to go through Kingdom Come 2. Alright? I got to go through a lot of games this year. Is this on my purchase list? Yeah, but it's on the lower end. I'll be honest. Things look cool. I'm hopeful for the skill trees. Cosmetics look great. Certain things like this little droid guy they added, cool. But, as we all know, Borderlands notoriously has horrible launches. Horrendous launches. Crossplay day one. Very concerned about how the performance is going to be. Open world Borderlands. Very concerned about how the performance is going to be. The multiplayer aspect, really cool. I'm probably going to be playing this with a friend if I do play it. So maybe I'll get my thoughts and opinions out there. But at the end of the day, I'm a fan of Borderlands, and I just want to voice my opinion on how I see the game going to maybe either convince you of a purchase if you're interested or not interested. Maybe put this on your radar based off everything I've showed, or completely kill the hype because, you don't get your assassin-esque character, I guess you could say, like a Zero, or the Siren is just too ugly for you to play. I don't blame you. Shit like that, right? But overall, gameplay trailer. The gameplay, in my opinion, this is how I see it going. Gameplay, I think, will be an 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. I think there'll be a lot of performance problems. I think we'll see a lot of weird game bugs sort of things where, like, characters will die and then you see their corpse far away, even though, their leg is there and you're like, what the fuck just happened? I think some enemies won't be balanced properly. I think the game is going to be brain dead fucking easy. But the feeling of the gameplay, mowing through a shit ton of enemies, going place to place, I think is going to be a solid 8 out of 10. Alright? Dialogue and story. I think we're looking at a 4 out of 10. Best case scenario, I'm leaning to a 2 out of 10. Okay? I think there will be moments, maybe at the peaks, maybe in the center, that are going to be pretty okay, tolerable. And then I think majority of it is going to be fucking terrible, okay? Randy Pitchford has overseen the Borderlands movie and thought that thing was a fucking pile of gold, alright? He thought he was looking at the next diamond coming out to the world, alright? He thought he had the next Kanye album in his fucking back pocket, alright? That shit was ass. Terrible. If he's overseeing this and he's saying, that's not cringe enough, actually, so, yes, maybe we should do that, okay? I'm really fucking concerned. On top of that, Borderlands 3's dialogue was fucking horrible. And as far as I know, Borderlands 3's team is working on Borderlands 4. The dialogue was terrible. If the dialogue is even close to Borderlands 3, it's a 2 out of 10 stinker, okay? But I do think, so far the game's kind of, it's expanded my expectations here, alright? It's gone a little bit past it. So I'll give them the benefit of doubt. I think it's going to be a 4 out of 10 for the dialogue and story. Obviously a lot of people are going to be like, actually, Borderlands is not actually about the dialogue and the story. I don't know what you want. You just don't want story in your game? You just don't want good dialogue? You don't want to fucking laugh at dialogue in the game? Is that what you want? I'm just here trying to fucking play games, alright? Good time after my long work day. Anyways. Yeah, dialogue, story, 4 out of 10. Gameplay, 8 out of 10. And I'm thinking, as far as sales-wise, we're looking at a little bit worse than Borderlands 3, but better than pre-sequel, I think is what we're looking at. I think it'll do better than pre-sequel. In like, let's say years time total purchases. I don't give a fuck about month 1 purchases, okay? I don't give a single fuck about it, alright? Doesn't matter how many people buy it month 1. It matters how many people bought it in year 1. Because people can buy it, they can return it, they can get it off websites. I don't give a fuck about player count. I don't give a shit about any of that. I care about year 1 purchases, right? Because that's roughly what you're going to be looking at if you make a similar product in the future, right? So I think year 1 purchases are going to be close to Borderlands 3, but I think Borderlands 3 will ultimately sell more, only because the hype for Borderlands 3 was that high. Hype for Borderlands 2 is kind of like, if Borderlands 3's hype was like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 peak, this is probably like a 4 out of 10 hype scale, Big fans are probably like raising their eyebrow here, But a lot of people have already cut ties with this game. It is what it is, right? It is what it is with the franchise. But yeah, that's where I see it going. I do think what did I say? I said dialogue. I said gameplay. There's performance. Performance, I'll be straight up. I think it's going to be a 1 out of 10 for the first month. I think there's going to be crashes. I think there's going to be fucking DCs. I think you're not going to be able to play with your friends day 1. I think the servers are just going to be so fucking horrible, laggy, stuttery. Not going to hold the people. I think all that will happen within the first week, and then after the first week, some of it gets fixed, slowly gets fixed, slowly get fixed, whatever. The longevity of the game, I'm going to rate a 4 out of 10. Honestly, could be, yeah, I'll say a 4 out of 10. DLCs could be fire. The Handsome Jackpot from Borderlands 3, W. The Battle Royale mode, horse shit. I never want to see them do any sort of close concept thing ever. A PvE Battle Royale that you had to pay like 15, 20 bucks for? Get the fuck out of here. Not annual pass, what was the Armory Vault card? I think it was a Vault card. That shit was ass as well. Why the fuck do I have to pay for that? What else was there? There was the Guns Love Tentacles mid. I'd say that's like a 5, 6 out of 10 DLC. So, the recent track record is dog shit is my point when it comes to like DLC content. I'm not too hopeful with Borderlands 4 DLCs. Expectations are very low. I'm going to say 4 out of 10, maybe a 3 out of 10 for longevity here. Borderlands has also notoriously fucked every single one of their games up the longer it's been out. Every single one. Borderlands 1, performance went down, bugs started to happen, and now that shit's barely playable on PC because of a fucking memory leak. Borderlands 2, love the game. One of my favorite games of all time. The endgame is ass. OP levels are terrible. Digistruct Peak, mid. At best, okay? The Lilith DLC fucked up everything in terms of balance. You know, they added 10 OP levels for no reason. Or sorry, 2 OP levels, technically. Actually, they actually added 2 OP levels. I get it, okay? But yeah, it's shit. It's terrible. The endgame. I'll say of Borderlands 2. Right now. But they fucked it up because it was actually really mint. You know, level 72, OP 8, I thought was pretty fun. And then what was the pre-sequel? Was okay. It's probably their best launch to end sort of performance in terms of like the game. DLCs just added to it. Nothing really broke the game. Borderlands 3, terrible. Mayhem was a fucking mess. Augments or whatever the purple shit you would get on your weapons, don't even remember. Terrible. Scrap it. Mandatory events for the first like year of the game. I still have PTSD from fucking haunts. What Trant Haunt or whatever the fuck it was. The skulls that fucking mess your screen up. I have very bad motion sickness. That made it unplayable for me, and that's where I just fucking cut off the game. What was another one? DLCs, first one was good, and then the rest of them sucked. Krieg's was good. The Fustercluck was okay. It was pretty good. The problem with it is that it was just really short, so it kind of like, it was good quality, bad quantity, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the longevity is very rocky with Borderlands games, so take that with, like, how you plan on playing this game. If your goal is to get this game, 100% it, never touch it again within the first month, hey, this might be a Borderlands era for you, okay? If your goal is to play this game for the rest of your remaining years on this planet, I got news for you. Not looking too good, okay? Not looking too good. Just saying that, right? But, you know, yeah, that's what I want to say. Those are my takes. 8 out of 10 gameplay. 4 out of 10 fucking dialogue. 4 out of 10 performance. Sorry, 2 out of 10. What did I say? 2 out of 10 dialogue? Yeah. 2 out of 10 dialogue. 4 out of 10 performance. 4 out of 10 longevity. And then, you know, average it out. I would probably say this game's going to be a 5 out of 10. I'll say it. 5 out of 10. And listen, some people look at 5 out of 10s like it's a fucking crucifix, alright? Some people look at it like it's the Antichrist, alright? 5 out of 10 is just average. And in a year with a bunch of heaters, I think it's pretty valid. You know, pretty valid. If this came out last year, maybe we'd be looking at something. But it didn't. So, we gotta look at it this year. It is what it is. It is against some steep comp. I'm very curious what everyone has to say who watches this video. Yeah, you. Hey, I see you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You in the back? Mr. Giga Chad? Yeah, I see that jawline. I see it. I'm very curious what you guys have to say, you know? I haven't seen a lot of really productive dialogue yet of the trailers and everything. The problem right now with Borderlands community, a lot of people are either hands and knees just sucking the cock of Borderlands 3, or they're doing the same with Borderlands 2. I'm one of them. No, just kidding. But it is just like, I want to see people's opinion, you know? So let me know in the comments, cop or drop, all right? Is this a day one cop? Is this let it simmer for a little bit, then cop? Or is it just a drop and you're just not fucking with it based off this gameplay? And based off the trailers you've seen and everything. You know, I want to see everything. Maybe we can have a discussion. Curious what the boys have to say, all right? I'm one of the working class, just like the rest of us, okay? So, I want to see what us NPCs want to find out, you know? Just saying, all right? So, that's kind of all I wanted to get through. It's 40 minutes. Fuck me. I really didn't want this video to be that long. I planned on this being 20. Regardless, if you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good day.